with hard-ons, 2 corpses with hard-ons. 2 corpses with hard-ons, 2 corpses with hard-ons, 2 corpses with hard-ons. Hard-ons, 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 ons. The new snowflake generation drives me mad. Talking about their feelings on the internet. People need to talk about depression more. Really? That's all people talk about these days. Keep it to yourself. It'll bottle it up and then let it burst out of you and punch someone in the face.
If you or anyone you know suffers from mental health issues, then please log on to pullyourselftogether.com.
Lifeless little shits watching Netflix with the curtains closed. Open the curtains. Getting sensitive about everything unimaginable. Talking in quiet voices. I hate quiet.
Such a surprise.
Be heard. Be noticed. Be the game. Invent your own game and design a little cover and put yourself on the front. Sell it to the world. Have t-shirts printed. Incidentally, t-shirts are available. Well, will be available.
I wanted to be a vet. Like James Herriot. I don't know if anybody remembers my childhood hero from the 70s, James Herriot, a vet working in the Yorkshire Dales with his hand up a cow's arse every week. I lived in London, so not many cows or goats or sheep whose arses I could examine. Practice on my cat with a plastic bag wrapped round my hand. Where's Sheba? Mum asked. Dunno.
There I am as a job coach. I mean, in between bands, books, films, scripts and all that. You know, my proper job. My real job is to get people the job of their dreams. Now, the situation was, if you'd been unemployed for a long time, things were so bad that you had to come to me for help and advice. 2 fucking weeks were trapped together. So, on the first day, I woke up. I put down a large lever arch file on the desk. It's got blank pages.
No one knows that, though.
No.
Clever.
I say my speech. I mean, you've got to be here, I say, and I've got to be here. But if you guys give me any shit, we'll have to do the work in this file. But if you don't give me any shit, we'll get through the next 2 weeks as best we can. Have we got a deal? That's what I said, and it always worked.
No one looked in the file?
No. No one ever looked in a file.
Deep.
I tell them, temping bowling, art galleries, the pub, alcoholics.
What? Alcoholics? You took alcoholics to the pub?
Well, of course, where else? The lost, like society had given up on them, but not me. So there I am with this young girl. I mean, Simon, would you mind? So, that's my question. So what do you want to do? Do, she says, looking puzzled.
Do?
You know, your dream job. Dream, she says, like I just said something weird.
Dream?
And then she looks at me and she says,
I want to work in Tesco's.
No. Yeah? You don't understand the question. No? You know, what do you really want to do?
I really want to work in Tesco's.
She says, getting slightly annoyed. That's fine. You can do that. You can take that away with you. It's yours, yeah. But what's your dream job? You know, astronaut?
Tesco's.
Oh, nail technician then.
Tesco's.
Okay, for fuck's sake, you can do that. You can take that home with you. It's yours.
Working the till.
Oh, working the fucking tills. Oh, stupid me.
Yeah, well, what about you with your stupid scripts and your stupid books and your stupid films that no one wants to actually film and your shitty little band?
If the dream was just working at Tesco's, then you could live out your dream. And it's easier than winning a Grand Prix.
Grand Prix?
It says Prix on the script, mate.
Then I started thinking, why is he keeping the cows alive? So we can fucking eat them. James Herriot doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just wants a fucking hamburger. Another of my heroes dashed to pieces before my very eyes. All those heroes who provided the starlight to my grim, grey existence, blinking out in the firmament. Jimmy Savile, now then. Rolf Harris, can you tell what it is yet? Would you like to touch it? Gary Glitter, do you want to be in my game? No! Dave Lee Travis.
He wasn't charged.
Technicality, mate. Pete Townsend.
He definitely wasn't. It was research.
Research? 400 pictures? Where's the fucking book then? Michael Jackson.
Don't go there, mate.
Neverland. Kitty fucking land.
Whoa.
All these heroes crumbling into dust. And then we go and make some more. I mean, what's all that about? I mean, I am not saying that all famous people are paedophiles. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any famous people. I'm too old, I think. Growing up in the 70s, I'm that bloody old. It was dull. Really dull. Prog rock and plastic sandals, spangles and space operas. Don't believe anyone that tells you space operas were fun. They weren't. I mean, I bounce a couple of times, fall off. Bounce a couple of times, fall off again. How Dad laughed. Bastard. Then punk came. I wasn't allowed to join in, of course. Now, don't believe anyone that tells you they were a punk in 77. There were probably 25 in the whole country, the whole world. I think I knew one of them. Well, he spat on me a few times anyway. Russell, I think his name was. Not the punkiest of names. Maybe he just liked gobbing on me. So punk came and went. And we all pretended that we had something to do with it.
Old age gallops on. It's saggy breasts. It's an old man's droopy arse. I never knew the arses would go. What is it with old people and the gym? I mean, surely you get to a certain age and think, fuck it, what's the point? Grow old, get fat, drink too much, take drugs. You're 89, for Christ's sake.
Nearly, I suppose.
You know the worst thing about growing old for me? Grey pubic hairs.
Not the state of the planet, then?
No. Grey pubic hairs. Let's just take a moment to think about our grey pubic hairs.
No.
I pluck them out.
What do you use?
I just rip them out with my bare, sweaty hands. Don't you?
No.
I thought everyone did.
Well, you can't be right about everything.
Well, I do. Everybody around the house can hear me screaming. It's like the ultimate in vanity, isn't it? It's like putting yourself through that amount of pain. I thought about having my pubes dyed, but I think too vain even for me. Who will fancy us when we're old grey? That's what it boils down to. Eventually we accept our fate, grow old and get a grey cardigan to go with our grey balls.
Everyone hates students. Even students. If I could have kicked my own head in, I would have. Freedom. That's what it meant. Freedom to be who you wanted to be, say what you wanted to say, eat whatever, smoke whatever, have sex whenever, with whoever. So, of course, I spent a lot of time getting punched, starving and coughing my guts up every morning in my single, empty bed.
I was having a great time singing in my own band.
No, not you right now, yeah?
Okay.
So I went to university. Uni. Painfully aware of my virginity. Walking down Watford High Street. Woman with yelling, snot-faced child. She's had sex. I mean, not the child, obviously, unless he knew Pete Townsend or whatever. Newspaper kiosk man. He's had sex, probably, in there. Hunchbacked old man. Slipper shuffling his way to the post office. He's had sex. Whiskery old women gabbling nonsense. They've had sex, probably with Quasi over there in a threesome in Butlins or wherever.
Butlins, what's all that about? And staying at a crappy part of England, staying in a shitty hut and drink flat, expensive lager and watch some amateur arseholes trying to be funny.
There's a moment of awkward self-awareness.
When I lost my virginity, I lost it good and proper to a girl called Kitty. Now, Kitty brings me back to her place. It's a one-room bedsit. I mean, you'd call it a studio apartment now, but it was definitely a bedsit. Make yourself comfortable, she says, pointing to the bed.
Make yourself comfortable.
So, I get into bed. I was thinking, do I keep our trousers on or not? I was thinking, keep them on. Foreplay, I guess. So, I'm waiting. And then in she walks, naked.
I'm not doing that.
Holding a cauliflower whole under her arm. At least it wasn't a carrot, and that could have been a bit dodgy. I mean, there's lots of places a carrot could go, orifice-wise, but there's nowhere really you can put a cauliflower. So, well, I spared her gory details, but what I can tell you is she kept biting and scratching me to the point of where blood
Definitely not doing that.
was actually running down my back. My earlobe started to bleed, and every so often she would rip chunks of raw cauliflower off whilst continuing to. What a night. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go through having sex again. I was worried that the biting and scratching always happened when you had sex. But I wore my scars with pride, and I'd show anyone my injuries that were interested. I couldn't eat cauliflower for years, mind you. Only with cheese.
So, when it did happen for me, I have had sex. It would be marvellous, magical, momentous, moving, and some other M words I can't quite...
Marmalade.
Marmalade, yes, Carl, thank you. Hands up those whose first go was great. Not like the movies, the mags, or the websites, was it? Maybe I'm just talking about myself here. I do remember thinking, I was confounded by my own ignorance. You know, I knew that this went in somewhere there. That was about it. I'm doubly perturbed by my incompetence. No, don't put it there. No. Just let me do it. All right, thanks. Don't thank me. Just do it. Right. Is this right? Is that a yes or a no? Just fuck me, right? Memories. So, I'm not a virgin, which is nice. Yeah, feel good. I fit walking down Watford High Street. Woman with yelling, snot-faced child. Me too. Newspaper kiosk man. Thumbs up. Quasi. At the post office. Yeah. Comradely wave. Doris and Carla. Gabbling nonsense. Cheeky wink. I am not a virgin. I fit. Life is good. I won't have to do that again for a while.
That's what my wife says. Two corpses with hard-ons, two corpses with hard-ons, two corpses with hard-ons. Two corpses with hard-ons, two corpses with hard-ons, two corpses with hard-ons.